Happy Sunday morning, YouTube. I did a podcast this morning on a subject that I feel like is sort of key. I know I've talked about this in the past, but I just wanted to talk about it again. It has to do with our inner dialogue. Our inner dialogue and our feelings about ourselves and our lives and our expectations, that sort of thing. So, it is my belief that we are the creators of our reality and we have the opportunity to tap into that which created everything in order to live happy lives. I really believe this. And so I have taken this journey to use my life as an example. And I have somebody in my life that is very dear to me. And I hung out with her yesterday, and she was really very forthright with her inner dialogue. And I was listening, and then every once in a while I would have to interrupt her and say things like, I don't want to hear you talk about yourself like that anymore. Like, I don't want to hear you talk about yourself like that anymore. Or if you want, like, if you would like to be single, then continue with your thought on that. But if you would like to have a meaningful relationship in your life, then you need to change your dialogue about that particular subject. And so it was like this amazing example for me of how our inner beliefs and how we feel about ourselves and in our body, the skin we're in, our age, there's so much about us that we have been somehow taught that is somehow not right, like through society, through social programming, our parents, our communities, our magazines, everything. Like, we have to look a certain way, we have to be a certain way, we have to be a certain age, whatever that age is. And in order to be loved, basically, like, our lovableness is somehow based on this aspect of ourselves. And I have to say, a lot of it we don't have any control over. We cannot be a different age. We were born on a certain day of a certain year. We cannot change our age. There's nothing we can do, minus to just get out and throw away that whole idea that age really counts that much. To the negative, for sure. Okay? Our bodies, like, some of it is just set. But, I mean, we can eat differently and exercise and make changes. But I think the precursor to all of that is to really learn to love ourselves. Like, to really love ourselves, like, at whatever weight we're at. To just love our body enough to, like, make different choices for it. Knowing that, if we go to McDonald's or if we make a sandwich at home, there's going to be a different outcome in our actual body based on what we are putting into ourselves. That including a lot of different things like rap music, watching terror movies, engaging in all of the negativity that is out there. and so I, like, make certain choices for myself. And that's not to say that I don't do this perfectly, because sometimes I find myself in a situation that I have to make a choice. I have there's a choice to be made, and this has been a strategy that has been really effective for me personally, and that is when I'm in a situation where I can tell that my feelings or my emotions are going to tank in a situation, I try to trust in the source. I call it God. Other people don't like that word, so I'm going to try to use the word source or creator. So to trust in creator instead of my own perception or whatever, I try to release it to the universe and trust that everything is going to work out or everything is going to be okay so that my emotions don't tank. Okay, and then what I noticed happens is sometimes what will happen is it will come back. So I'll go to my trust spot and then it'll kind of pull me out again, try to pull me in again, whatever is the precursor to these feelings, and then I go to trust again. To trust again. I kind of make fun of myself sometimes because I just have so much fun with it, but I had actually created a little sign for myself. You know, because I've actually had some mental things in my life that I've tried. Like, I really, really tried with somebody, like, okay, so I'm dating a guy and it's not going well. And so we break up. Okay, so we break up. I break up with this guy, or he breaks up with me, whatever. And my brain keeps going back to him, keeps going back to him, keeps going back to this person. And so I used to imagine the person's face. It sounds terrible, but I imagine the person's face with like a slash through it, so that I would try to trick my brain into not thinking about this person. So I made a different kind of sign recently with that same concept, and it's like my little trust sign. And my little trust sign, like and I don't carry this with me all the time, but maybe I should, to try to have my brain go to trust rather than go down this rabbit hole of negativity. To like try to replay events to like that it's going to somehow have a different outcome, because it's not. Recently I had a significant breakthrough in my own because I remembered back to the event. I remembered back to when I cared more about somebody else's opinion of me, actually outside of my family, than I did myself. I remember the moment that somebody made comments about my body when I was really young and I was really thin and really cute. And he made comments about my body that were really negative. And I remember that moment, and having spent 30 years trying to undo what that comment did to me. And it's like, but now I feel like I'm in a really healthy place, in the sense that I have learned really to love myself. And so when people say things that are contrary, or even when I start thinking things that are contrary to my own beliefs about it, I have to look, consider it, let it go. I mean, maybe some things that people have to say are valid, but I find that a lot of times they're not. I really do. I find that sometimes what they have to say is not valid. But anyway, going back to my friend and yesterday and her inner dialogue, I can't change her dialogue for her. I can merely suggest that she try thinking different thoughts, because she really is an amazing person with a lot to offer and deserving of everything that she is desiring. And so in order for us to actually have these things come into our life, changing our inner dialogue about it is a necessity. And so there you have it, the thought for today. Trust. Anyway, love you guys. I'll be back with other ideas.